It may be hard to believe, but this 1922 Milburn Electric is in fact running on electricity. With production starting in 1914, the Milburn Wagon Company would produce just over 4,000 of these electric vehicles until General Motors bought their assembly plant in 1923, essentially putting an end to Milburn's electric vehicle production in the meantime. But before we get into all of that, we must first learn how the Milburn Wagon Company was able to produce these magnificent machines. Before the Milburn Wagon Company was incorporated, founder George Milburn had investments in a few other businesses, making him quite wealthy. One of these was an investment into the Mishawaka Wagon Works Company in 1867. The knowledge he gained from the businesses he invested in prompted him to incorporate the Milburn Wagon Company in 1869 in Mishawaka, Indiana. This company would move a short time later, however, as a tiff between the local government and Milburn over railroad tracks prompted him to move his company to Toledo, Ohio. With the relocation, Milburn sought to be the largest and most sophisticated wagon manufacturer in the world. Their new buildings were so advanced that their production line was completely mechanical and only required operation of machinery. After taking wagon body orders for companies such as the Ohio Electric Company, the Milburn Wagon Company started producing their own electric cars, believing that they could make them lighter and cheaper than the current market offerings. The first car off the assembly line would be the 1915 Milburn Light Electric, which had a price tag of $1,485. While the cheapest of its electric competitors, it still cost about 3 times more than a Ford Model T at the time, which cost about $390. In 1916, after selling about 600 cars the year prior, Milburn introduced a few more model configurations to their lineup and a delivery truck. They would continue to expand their lineup and produce cars until one of its plants was destroyed in 1919 after a fire broke out. Production started back up again in Toledo University, but the company would start relying on more contract work from larger firms such as Oldsmobile. In 1923, General Motors officially stepped in and purchased the Milburn body plant for $2 million. Plans were to move their Fisher Body Works division into that plant, but these eventually fell through. Milburn would continue to produce their electric cars out of that plant until 2 months after the purchase, in which they would then move on to one of their smaller factories. Milburn would then produce their electric cars until they ran out of leftover parts from their previous model years. General Motors would later sell the Milburn body plant after just 6 months of ownership, after realizing the plant's condition and antiquated nature. Milburn's had a reputation for high quality and luxurious accommodations. In fact, President Woodrow Wilson and his Secret Service agents utilized Milburn Electrics. Our 1922 Milburn Electric has a top speed of 30 miles per hour and can go about 60 miles before needing a full charge. One of its coolest innovations is that it has a battery tray that you can slide out in the event of having to replace one of the batteries working the motor, which further extended the range of the vehicle. Additionally, no crank start was needed for this vehicle, allowing it to be marketed as a simpler driving experience compared to gas cars that started with a crank. This would actually be a nail in the coffin for electric vehicles at the time. After electric start was implemented on gas-powered cars, electric cars offered little advantages over them. For more information about our 1922 Milburn Electric and other vehicles, come by the Tampa Bay Automobile Museum or visit our website and social media. We are always producing new content and are looking forward to introducing our membership program to museum goers very soon. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos such as these.